Welcome, everyone. I am Gayla with Lifescape Elder Care Law and Estate Planning. Thanks for joining us for today's discussion, Do Dementia and Halloween Mix? Now, Halloween can be a lot of fun for most of us, with costumes, kids, candy, and spooky sounds. But for someone living with dementia, it can be confusing and even frightening. So today, we're talking about how families can make this holiday safer, calmer, and still meaningful for loved ones who are living with memory loss. Joining me today are two familiar faces from the Lifescape team, Charley, our care coordinator, and Marla, our communications director.
Hi, Gayla. Thanks for having me. This is one of those topics that comes up every year, and it's so important because a little preparation can make a huge difference in how a loved one experiences the holiday.
Absolutely. Families often feel torn between wanting to keep traditions and protecting their loved one's peace of mind. Today, we'll share practical tips to do both.
Charley, let's start with the big question in our title. Do dementia and Halloween really mix?
For many people living with dementia, the answer is not very well. The sights and sounds of Halloween, the masks, the costumes, flashing lights, eerie music, all create a lot of sensory stimulation. Someone with dementia can interpret those cues as danger. Even something as simple as the doorbell ringing repeatedly can be very upsetting. It's easy for us to forget that what's fun scary for us can be genuinely terrifying for them.
That's such an important reminder. Marla, what kinds of reactions have you seen or heard about from families?
We've heard everything from confusion and agitation to fear. Some people try to comfort their loved one, but the loved one doesn't recognize the costumes or the voices and might think strangers are trying to invade their space. For someone who's already struggling to process what's happening, it's a whole lot.
Mhm.
Exactly. And sometimes, even after the decorations come down, the agitation can linger. Their sense of safety has been shaken.
So it's not just a one night issue, is it? It can affect their well being for days.
Right. That's why prevention and planning are key.
Okay, so let's talk about what families can do when a loved one with dementia lives at home. What are some practical ways to handle trick or treat night?
Well, they could start by being realistic about what their loved one can tolerate. If doorbell ringing or voices at the door are distressing, it's okay to simply opt out. Turn off your porch light to signal you're not participating. Or if you still want to share candy, you can put a bowl out front with a note that says, please take one.
That one small step alone can prevent hours of stress for both of you.
Exactly. Also, think about the environment inside your home. Keep lighting soft and steady. Avoid candles. Use those battery powered candles or twinkle lights instead. Move your pumpkins or mums up onto a table to prevent a tripping hazard.
Oh, that's a good point. I think those little things can make a really big difference.
Yes, and about the decorations, less is definitely more. Avoid things that move suddenly, make sounds, or have flashing lights. Those can cause confusion or even fear. Even harmless things like fake cobwebs or talking skeletons can be startling.
I'd also add watch out for background noises. A spooky soundtrack with ghostly moans or creaking doors might be fun for visitors, but for someone with dementia, it's disorienting. Choose calm or upbeat music instead, maybe classic fall songs or lighthearted Halloween tunes.
I think that's great advice. Charley, what about sugar? We all know that candy is everywhere this time of year.
Moderation is the key. Sugar can create spikes in energy and mood, followed by crashes that increase agitation. Keep the candy put away until Halloween night and maybe offer some alternatives like fruit or popcorn or even a small caramel apple.
And involve your loved ones in safe ways. Maybe help them hand out candy from a distance or just wave to children through the window if that feels comfortable.
Let's shift now to those whose loved ones live in long-term care facilities. What should families expect on Halloween and how can they prepare?
You know, this is an interesting topic because I've been in many facilities and they all seem to do it a bit different. Some of them host parties or have staff costume parades. Some even have kids from the community visit. It can be joyful, but it can also be overwhelming. Each family should decide how much participation feels right. If your loved one enjoys activity and still recognizes familiar staff, attending a part of the celebration can be wonderful. But if costumes or loud environments cause anxiety, remember, it's perfectly okay to opt out.
Exactly. You can always bring the spirit of the season to them in gentler ways. Maybe a small pumpkin for their room or photos of grandchildren in costumes instead of in person visits during the busiest hours.
And communicate with staff. Let them know what tends to upset your loved one. Most care teams appreciate that input and will adjust accordingly.
That's a great reminder. You're still the advocate, even when your loved one lives in a facility.
Absolutely. Advocacy is part of love.
Now, let's talk about the fun side. How can families still celebrate Halloween in a way that feels safe and joyful?
There are so many creative options. Think autumn, not fright. You can do things like bake pumpkin bread, decorate sugar cookies, or even paint pumpkins instead of carving them. Gentle activities like these create sensory pleasure, smell, touch, taste, without the fear.
I love that. And those activities can bring generations together. Grandkids can join in and make new memories that don't rely on traditional trick or treat chaos.
Exactly. You can even take a short drive to see fall colors or visit a quiet pumpkin patch. That satisfies the seasonal tradition, but in a calm, dementia friendly way.
So I think it's really about shifting expectations, finding joy in what's possible rather than clinging to what's changed.
Mhm.
Yes, dementia changes the way the brain interprets the world. Our job is to adapt, not to force our loved one into an old pattern. That flexibility can mean the difference between distress and peace.
And it's okay to grieve those changes too. Every caregiver feels that tug, wanting things to be like they were, but embracing new traditions can bring surprising joy.
That's beautifully said. So now, as we wrap up, let's summarize the big takeaways. Charley, if families remember only three things from today's discussion, what should they be?
First, protect your loved one's sense of safety. That's the foundation of every good plan. Second, simplify and adapt. Reduce the stimulation. Avoid surprises and keep decorations calm and familiar. And third, find connection. Whether it's baking, it's reminiscing, or just watching the leaves change. Keep the focus on togetherness, not tradition.
And I'd like to add, remember, you're not alone. Lifescape is here to support you, not only with legal planning, but with practical caregiving advice like this.
Charley and Marla, thank you both for sharing your insights and your hearts. And to all the family caregivers watching, remember, Halloween can still be a time of warmth and connection. It just might look a little different now, and that's okay. To learn more or to download free caregiver resources like our checklists and guides, visit lifescapelaw.com and click on resources. And if you need more help, a consultation with a Lifescape team may be beneficial. Get on the schedule by calling 816-291-4143. Thank you for joining us. From all of us at Lifescape Elder Care Law and Estate Planning, we wish you and your loved ones a calm, safe, and happy Halloween.